Have you ever been proud to open your fridge? Is everything beautiful and fresh here? After all, most of us do. We were taught that the fridge would make our food safe, tasty, and last longer. But what if you tell you that some of the most common foods in the fridge, perhaps the foods you eat every week, your taste, your nutrients, and in some cases even harmful? Today we talk about something you may not expect. 10 days of daily food you should not store in the fridge. Yes, you've heard the right thing. Not because it's trendy advice, but because science and experience say that the fridge is the wrong place for you. Why is it even more important when you reach? As taste changes, our digestion becomes more sensitive and the preservation of nutrients in our food is more important than ever, especially when managing health issues such as diabetes, hypertension, and digestive issues. But don't worry, this is not a lecture. Like friends chatting in the kitchen, it's a warm conversation between us. We guide you through all the meals behind it in simple English and provide a simple and practical way to keep it right. Some of them may surprise you. Some say, yeah, I've been doing it for years. This is okay. We all learn together. So drink tea, make yourself comfortable, and discover how we can make our food and ourselves healthier, happier, and full of taste. Are you ready? Let's start. Food number 1. Potato. Start with almost every kitchen. Potatoes. Pure, baked, roasted. They are comforts that we all love. But can you save money in the fridge? This is a quiet mistake that many people don't know about. When you set the potatoes to cold temperatures, something strange happens inside. Nature's strength turns into sugar faster than it should. This makes the texture rough and oddly sweet. Definitely not what you need for a potato puree or French fries. But here is a big concern. These sugar-containing potatoes, especially when cooked on strong heat, can create a chemical called acrylamide. Potential relationships with certain types of cancer were examined. This doesn't mean that plates with crispy fries are dangerous, but that's a good memory of how we can maintain our food more than we think. Potatoes don't like moisture either, and the fridge is a wet place. This moisture can ruin you, mushy, or smell you. What's a better way? Hold them in a cool, dark, and dry room like a pantry, closet, or basement, and do not catch them in a plastic bag. Breath using a paper bag, mesh bag, or basket. Keep away from the onions. Gas onions can germinate or rot potatoes faster. Simple tips, big difference. Keep the potatoes away. Food number 2, tomato. Now we're talking about tomatoes. Cut them for sandwiches or add them to the salad. They like to think that the fridge keeps them fresh, but in reality it steals their tastes. Tomatoes are sensitive fruits. When placed in the fridge, the cold air will turn off the natural process and help to mature and develop this sweet, juicy flavor. Instead, get tomatoes that are boring, floury, and slightly less lively. You may not notice it at first, but over time you will ask yourself why you don't taste the same taste as before. Answer: refrigerator. Low temperatures also lower lycopene levels. It is a natural antioxidant in tomatoes that can support heart health and reduce the risk of cancer. This is another reason why we get the best meals from everyone, especially when we get older. How should I keep tomatoes instead? Keep the counter at room temperature, helping to slow down moisture loss and take longer. If it's still a little firm, give it only a few days. You ripen wonderfully yourself. You can only put it in the fridge if the tomatoes are fully ripe and cannot be eaten immediately. But don't forget to let it warm up to room temperature before eating. You will regain this taste and something of this texture that you missed. Tomatoes deserve to be lush, rich and full of lushness, just like the food we share with our loved ones. Food number 3, onion. Next, onions. They give almost every dish depth and taste, but do not belong to the fridge. Here's why. Onions are full of natural sugar and strength. Keeping wet spots like fridges cold, these sugars become more active. Result: your onion is soft and even slimy, and your taste will change. It may be too sweet, and even worse, start growing mold. And there's a smell. Onions are famous for their strong aroma. If you keep it in the fridge, this smell doesn't just stay in the onion. It can sneak into her butter, her berries, even her milk. No one wants to be tied up with the onion-scented yogurt. The solution is simple. The entire onion should be stored in a cool, dry, well-ventilated room. Avoid plastic bags. Catch moisture, use baskets, paper bags, or a net network where air flows freely. Also, keep potato onions away. I know it's appealing to keep them together, but potatoes release gas and onions ruin the onions faster. It's like a small, invisible feud between two kitchen clips. If you've already cut or pulled out the onion, the fridge is fine. Place it in plastic tightly or in an airtight container. This traps the smell and protects everything else. Proper storage of onions does not only make cooking easier, it will make your kitchen fresher, and your meal will make it even tasty. Food number 4. Garlic is more than just a taste. It's tradition. Whether you're making pasta, grilling vegetables, or preparing Sunday dinner, garlic is often in your heart. But garlic in the fridge? Not a good couple. When garlic is kept cold, it tends to sprout. You will notice that green buds grow from the cloves. These shootings are bitter, they change the taste, and are not a good way to do it. Cold also promotes moisture, leading to mold, softness, and even decay. Garlic must be dry and brave. The fridge will take this away. Garlic also helps absorb odors from other foods. This way, the garlic can be tasted like yesterday's body. What is the best way to keep garlic fresh? Let me breathe. Store the entire garlic bulb in a dry, ventilated container. A power bag or open basket will work perfectly. There's no need to seal it off. Airflow is actually a best friend of garlic. Try using them within a few days as soon as you break the bulb and use individual cloves. Chop or destroy garlic in advance and can be easily held in the fridge, but only if it is tightly sealed. If you put garlic in oil, be very careful. It should be cooled and used within a week to avoid bacteria. As garlic goes the right path, he holds his strong familiar kick, bringing her food and memories back to life. Food number 5. Avocado. Full of rich, heart-healthy fats. Whether you spread it on toast, mix it with a smoothie, or cut it to suit your salad, avocados deserve a place in a modern kitchen. But when it comes to storing them, timing is everything, and the fridge can often do more damage than profits. This is the truth. Immature avocados should never enter the fridge. This is an avocado with natural gas called ethylene tires, as this process works best at room temperature. If you relax too early on avocado, she will stop the maturation process. They have fruits that feel like stones. Even those who remain like rubber will turn black on the inside, even if they are not ripe on the outside. But wait, what if your avocado is already ripe? In this case, the fridge is useful, but it's only for a short period of time, perhaps a day or two. Longer and the texture will be watery or threaded. The avocados paid even more attention. As soon as you open, the meat immediately reacts to the air, turning brown and mushy. To slow this down, polish a small amount of lemon or lime juice on the cut surface and store in an airtight container. These citrus fruits prevent oxidation and can withstand a little longer. These are tips that are taken over by the injured people in the grandmother and kitchen. If you want to ripen avocados faster, place them in a paper bag with apples or bananas. These fruits release ethylene gas and accelerate the process in a natural way. No fridge required. Remember, mature naturally. Let it cool only when it's finished. This way you can enjoy all the creamy qualities that avocado has to offer. Smooth, nutritious, just right. Food number 6. Banana. Bananas are one of the simplest joys of nature. If potassium is soft and full, you've been a favorite for generations, but when you pound them in the fridge to keep them for a long time, they might imagine disappointment. Bananas thrive in warmth, so you just build it. If you are exposed to cold temperatures like the refrigerator, your skin will darken almost immediately. You can see how to turn black or brown within a day or two. And oh no, you're spoiled. But the odd part is that they're really not ripe. The cold stops the aging process and leaves a banana that looks extra but has an underdeveloped taste. It is solid, powerful, and simply does not hit. This color change is what scientists call a horrible injury. Banana cells collapse under the cold and do not fully recover even after removal from the refrigerator. What is the best memory method in? Keep the banana at room temperature if possible. Hang them on a banana hook to reduce bruises and even allow for airflow. Do you have a cat? No problem. If you want to ripen slowly, keep away from other ethylene-producing fruits such as apples. If the banana is already overripe, don't let it cool. That is the golden rule. Peel them first, cut them if necessary, and freeze them for later use. Perfect for mixing smoothies, baking, and even oatmeal. There are other old-fashioned tips. Whenever you crush the ripe bananas and freeze them in small containers, they always prepare the perfect start of the banana bread or pancakes. Think about it again the next time you reach for the fridge. Sweet the old-fashioned methods of bananas, rice, and counter. Food number 7. Uncut melon. Watermelons on summer days. Melons with breakfast and honeydew after dinner. Melons have been part of the family table for decades. But do you store the whole melon in the fridge? That could mean they take away both taste and nutrition. Most people don't know here. The melon is ripe after it is selected. This maturation not only affects the texture but also actually improves the sweetness. However, if the entire melon is too early in the fridge, stop this process on the truck. Sugar is completely free of production. Instead of juicy and classy fruit, there is something matte, watery, and satisfying. Watermelon in particular loses its vibrant texture if it is too cold. Cells collapse, and what once was crisp and refreshing becomes granular and mushy. The same applies to melons and hanagtao. Their textures become rubbery, and their natural sweetness fades away, but it's not just about taste. Studies have shown that melons stored at room temperature are more prone to antioxidants such as beta-carotene and vitamin C. These nutrients fight inflammation, protect your immune system, and support healthy aging. This is a pretty good reason to leave it to the counter, right? If you cut the melon, it's time in the fridge. Cover the cut pieces tightly with plastic film or airtight container and eat within 3-4 days for the best taste and best food safety. The next time you bring a big, beautiful melon home, don't rush into the fridge. Sit at the counter and ripen perfectly. Then cut it, chill the pieces, and enjoy a juicy, nutritious bite. Food no? 8. Bread. Bread is one of the oldest and most encouraging foods we know. Whether it's a warm slice of buttery morning sandwich or morning toast, it's known and full of memories. But do you store your bread in the fridge? This is a habit that harms more than profit. The surprising truth is, the bread actually gets faster in the fridge and isn't slow, but the cold air should keep it. What really happens is a process called retrograde. This is when the starch molecules begin to crystallize and the soft slices begin to dry out and easily break. Refrigerators accelerate this process, especially when the bread is cut into slices or exposed to air. And what about the moisture? The fridge moistens the outside of the bread, but the interior is hard and doesn't taste. Not the type of toast you'll look forward to in your morning coffee. What should we do instead? If you plan to eat bread within a few days, stop in a cool, dry place, such as a bread box or pantry. Place it in the original packaging and in a paper bag with a loose sticker so you can breathe without being too fast. If you have more bread now than you eat in time, freeze it. Freezing keeps the bread in the pan much longer than cooling. If it's not cut first, take out exactly what you need and then make sure you can roast or heat it in the oven when ready. It tastes like it's coming out of a bakery. Bread has spanned generations with parts of our lives and tables, with a little care and storage, so it can be soft, fresh, and ready to nourish yourself. Food number 9. Honey. Honey isn't just cute. It's old, soothing, almost eternal. Archaeologists discovered a pot of honey in an Egyptian tomb thousands of years ago. That's the magic of honey. But keeping it in the fridge will disrupt this natural perfection. Due to cold temperatures, honey crystallizes faster. We've probably seen it. It's thick, granular, sometimes almost hard, and still safe to eat. But it's much more difficult to distribute itself or stir tea. The texture changes and the beautiful floral scent of honey fades away. But it's not just convenience. Picking up honey in the fridge adds unnecessary moisture. This can lead to fermentation if the glass seal is not airtight. This is rare, but there is a better way, so why take risks? What is the best place for your honey? Directly in the closet. Put it in a tightly sealed container at room temperature away from sunlight and heat. That's it. There is no extraordinary tricks or cooling. And if you are crystallizing honey, don't worry not boiling water, but simply place the glass in a warm bowl and gently stir to return to the golden liquid form. Honey is a gift of nature, pure, powerful, and patient. Treating it with the same respect, it takes us for years and sweetens our tea, toast, and memories. Food number 10. Olive oil. Let's talk about something really valuable in the kitchen. Olive oil. It's not just a component. It is a tradition. and the main food that has been passed down for generations in Mediterranean culture, especially food as medicine, and food is a moment of connection. Olive oil is celebrated with its smooth texture, its rich flavor, and strong health benefits. But when it comes to storing it, there are frequent mistakes that take away everything we quietly love. Put it in the fridge. Now I understand why people do it. I think cold means that the fridge lasts longer. But in the case of olive oil, this instinct falls backwards. The olive oil is cold and will start to solidify, especially when good old olive oil is added. You will see that the cloudy, thick or waxy white lumps will start to appear as if they are rotting. Oils are harder and more difficult to pour out, making them harder and more difficult to cook. Also, even when written back at room temperature, this repeated cooling cycle can slowly change taste over time. But it's not just the texture. There's something else, something more subtle. Keeping olive oil in the fridge will form condensation in the bottle. This small amount of moisture can actually enter the oil and start the rot process. Water and oil do not mix well. This small moisture can nourish bacteria and shorten the lifespan of the oil without realizing it. And that's not all. Oil has 3 natural enemies: heat, light, air. A refrigerator protects against heat, but as we discussed, it doesn't protect it from light when opening the door or condensing. In the end, we won't win anything by cooling it. We actually put quality at risk. Where should I store olive oil? A cool, non-cold place. A pantry, closet, or closet away from direct sunlight is ideal. You don't need complete darkness, but it helps protect you from light. And always make sure the lid is tight. This will prevent the oxygen from secretly accelerating oxidation. Olive oil can save the right path and can be left fresh for months, sometimes even longer. It retains this distinctive scent, this golden green, and all these heart-cold antioxidants, making it very special. And here are small memories from past generations. Olive oil is more than just food. It's about care. It's something you rub with dry hands in winter and drizzle over warm bread on Sunday afternoons. Stir in the soup when someone is not feeling well. It's simple and nutritious. When treated with respect, there is more than we recognize. So don't hide it in the fridge, and give it a suitable place for our kitchen, our food, and our lives. So you have it. 10 everyday foods that really make a home really better than your fridge. From creamy avocados to golden honey, everyone has not only taste and nutrition, but also tradition, culture, and care. And this may be the real message of today. Isen is not just about calories and process data. It's about the decisions we make every day to help happiness, comfort, and support our families. It is to slowly realize the little things, and even deal with the simplest objects, such as bread or garlic on a light bulb, treating them with the same respect as we give something much more delicate. As we get older, we realize that it is the smallest things that make up the biggest difference. How to maintain food, how to prepare meals, how to remember recipes my mother made earlier, or how my father smelled Sunday. These are not just habits, they are rituals. And if we take care of them, they will nourish more than our bodies. They feed their souls. Make a moment before putting this tomato in the fridge or throwing this onion into a drawer. Ask yourself, shall it be? Often, the wisdom we are looking for is not in the scientific lab. It is the story we grew up in, how our grandparents did. What we had in front of the convenience of common sense was in the way. And now I want to hear from them. Which of these foods surprised me the most? Have you accidentally kept them for years, or have your own family tricks ever passed the test of the time? This community doesn't just watch videos, so I'll share them in the comments below. It's about telling us what we learned together. If today's video is useful, give your thumbs up so others can find it. Also, if you already have it, click this subscription button. Here at Elders Insight, we believe it's never too late to feel smarter, healthier, and with our food. Until next time, take care of yourself and take care of what's in your kitchen. It lives where wisdom lives.